Hey, it's a late night recording today, and you know what? Let's take it slow. Let's look at a few beautiful mocks and get you a bit inspired. No jazz, no fireworks, no explosions. We're taking it slow. We're sitting back in our chair. We're getting a nice drink, maybe a little cookie. We're going to sit back, relax, and look at some beautiful mocks. The old-fashioned way. Chill, having a good time. Because a brand new collab dropped relatively recently, and I think these creations are breathtaking. This collab shows us some scary underwater characters that inhabit the underwater prison known as the Pit. This is a location in the Bionicle story which contains mutagen. It's a toxin that mutates those that are exposed to it. So here are a few creeps from the deep that were banished to the Pit. And these mocks are dope. Let's check them out. Starting off this collab with Siren of Zazak, and this is by the_double. So, yeah, I guess this is certainly inspired by some kind of real-world anglerfish. All the spikes, the big teeth, the light on the top of the antenna. It's kind of the perfect recipe for a really, really creepy mock. Yeah, I mean, even just these teeth, like the angle that they're at, the way that they bend outwards and they go off in all sorts of odd directions, they're different sizes. It's kind of gnarly stuff. It's very striking. And actually, we have a lot of really clever part usages on this mock. The top of the lower arms, they're using these Nokama Hordika masks. I quite like how these butt up against these dark blue skull spider masks. It's a good look. And while we're talking about those skull spider masks, there's heaps more all over this mock. Of course, like I said, they're on the arm design. They kind of flow down into the hand and they allow the fingers to branch off of it. But we can also see this same piece on the shoulders. It's on the top of the head, there's just one there. We also see some around the crotch and the sides of the waist. Man, you can really put this piece to work. There's so many different ways that you can use it, and all of them look incredible. Oh, and of course, Tarox's mask, that's there on the knees. Man, this is like NPU City right here. It's good. It's really good. And now, this is False Tiet by Ben. Not me, another Ben. Kind of a zombified look for Toa Tiet. And I kind of love it. Although actually what impresses me more is the fact that this mock was built in just 24 hours. Great work. Such high quality results in such a small time period. 24 hours is still a while, but you know, quick turnaround like that's always very impressive. So all of these guts and organs hanging out, it really sells a kind of zombified look. And I quite like that Ben has used Halle Murray's mask. Of course, the one that came on this Legacy set. So we see that they've removed the trans blue visor that's inside this mask. And as a result, it exposes all of these gaps that are naturally within the mask. And this frees up all sorts of space for veins and other things to be spewing out. Yeah, it's gross, but it's a really great way to showcase that they are indeed a zombie. And yeah, it might just be one of the best uses of this piece that I've seen in a long, long time. Now, I say that, but the very middle of the torso also uses this mask. But now we've got wires running through the different holes. That's dope. This is also very clever, isn't it? Maybe you could do that yourself. Take a look at some of the other masks in your collection and see if you can get some other pieces to fit in between the gaps and the holes that are naturally within these masks. Maybe doing so could inform some kind of super unique connection or a really interesting technique. Another great design is this head. This big black element, it's actually the lower jaw from this old Alpha Team set. This was a very specific and strange piece, but it's super cool. And plopping that on top of the head, it's pretty solid, it's pretty nice. Also, great use of some of these dark blue macaroni pieces. We see some of these in some Dreams sets. They make for some quite wacky arms. It's a good design. It does look like some sort of tentacle that you would see on an underwater creature, or a mutated Toa. So cool. The Maestro is up next, and this is their mock called Pit Rudaka. So this is taking the iconic character, Rudaka, but imagining her if she was mutated by the toxins within the pit. It's always fun to see different takes on characters, and I quite like this new head design. Using a Rakshi spine piece for the bulk of the head. There's something about the texture here. It reminds me of some sort of underwater eel. It's a nice way of turning this into a bit more of an aquatic context. And also she's got like gold hoop earrings. Delightful. It's a very nice touch. So yeah, this interesting seaweed dress, very unique. I guess Rudaka is just using some of the resources that she finds underwater to armor herself up. Makes sense. But the best part of this, it has to be this lower leg and foot design. See how it's using some of these tentacle pieces? The same ones that came in a different Alpha Team set. They're just kind of wrapped around the leg and they flow out into these spikes on the end. It's a good look. Something quite organic and aquatic about this. Velociraptor is up next, and this is titled Trench Wanderers. Man, anytime a mock uses these glow-in-the-dark blue pieces, it looks so good. They really are the perfect piece to use for any underwater creature. And check out all of these tubes and wires that are scattered across the body and the torso. I like that these could be some type of diving equipment that lets this creature breathe underwater. Or it could just be the way that their body looks. Either way, it's nice and creepy, isn't it? And these Matoran, they're fantastic. I love how their limbs are composed almost entirely out of these small friction joints. You see these pieces on characters like Tahu Uniter. They're here at the very top of the upper leg design. Yeah, these pieces are great. They can make a mock look a little bit taller, but they also add a bit of friction so that things can be a little bit more reinforced and sturdier. But yeah, stacking them up like this to produce an awesome texture and an ultra small, ultra thin design. It's perfect for cute little dudes like this. I really don't see any other way that you could make a limb design that's this tiny. And dude, I think that's one of the things with LEGO. Building big can sometimes be easier because you've got so much more space to play with. And if you have the pieces to build it, you can kind of do anything. But to build small, it can be more difficult because you're really limited on the types of pieces you can use, and sometimes it can be almost impossible to cram in detail. So to get tiny, tiny designs like this that actually look good, it's not an easy thing to do. So I applaud you, Velociraptor. That's a good challenge you've accomplished there. Yeah, 2 Matoran and a big old beast. This would have made an awesome LEGO set, hey? If only Bionicle came back and we got stuff like this. And finally, this is Pit Brutaka by Bones. So yeah, an underwater version of Brutaka. This, of course, is paying homage to a classic photoshopped set from back in the day. There were all kinds of rumors and hot takes and fake talk about how this was supposed to be a brand new set that was releasing in 2007. Obviously, that never happened. But we can bring this concept to life with our own pieces. Or, with a mock like this. First things first, this shoulder design. The absolute flex of using a gold mask of life. Yeah, that's a very expensive mask. It's like, I think $800 last time I checked. But dude, it's great to see it in action. Instead of locking this thing up in a glass display case, never to be touched, never to be played with, put it in a mock. Because how good does it look here? Especially the way that it works together nicely with Carapa's armor. The shaping between those two pieces. It's a perfect pair. And the red wires coming out of it too? This is awesome. Actually, a lot of these subtle highlights of red look brilliant. They go up quite well against the dark blue and gold color scheme. Oh yeah, and Taryx's mask is here on the crotch. That's 2 times now that we've seen this mask on a Bionicle mock in this collab. I guess it's just a really helpful piece. So there you go, guys. That's this Underwater Titan collab featuring all kinds of people that were banished to the pit. I really enjoyed this collab. There's a lot of really good, really talented builders here putting on a show and showcasing some of their best work. If you enjoyed the mocks that you saw in today's episode, take a look at the links in the description below. You can see more of their work right there. Also in the description below and on your screen right now is the submission email. If you've got a collab that you and your friends have done, or just a mock that you yourself have made, submit it to the email, and I'll do my best to feature it in an upcoming episode. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Happy building, and bye for now.